This month I'm going to be looking at self-help projects in traumatized societies. What follows are all developments that have been initiated by local people without the benefit of foreign aid. They include projects in places that I've been personally involved in, particularly South Sudan and Rwanda. South Sudan is one of the world's youngest nations, only gaining independence at the beginning of the 21st century after many generations of struggle. Although naturally unspoiled and full of resources, it is also one of the world's poorest countries. I will be focusing on Kajukeji County, which is in central Equatoria province on Uganda's northern border. It is an area known for its mangoes and blacksmiths. Fighting in South Sudan began in November 1955, which for me is a special reference point because it was the month I was born. The conflict saw a brief break at the beginning of the 1980s, but quickly resumed. Along with Afghanistan, Angola, and Mozambique, South Sudan has been at the top of the list of countries that have had to deal with the terrible scourge of landmines. Schools were particularly affected by the conflict. Most of them were stripped of their assets, particularly their roofs, which were used to build bomb shelters and bunkers. The reason I was able to experience all of this was because I was part of a program sponsored by the Episcopal Church of the Sudan and the Diocese of Kajukeji to rebuild schools in their area. As you can imagine, while I was there, I experienced much. While men were fighting at the front, women bore very heavy burdens. The women of the Diocese of Kajukeji started a project which harvests and processes shea butternuts. Shea butternut trees are native to South Sudan as well as many other parts of Africa. Their seed pods are collected and then dried. The nuts are then pounded using a traditional pestle and mortar. A little water is added, and the crushed nuts are heated. This is a traditional society where all activities are communal. The resulting shea-rich slurry is bagged and ready for pressing. Pressing is difficult work. The result is an oil very similar in color to olive oil. Nothing goes to waste. The pressed oil cakes are used to fuel the fire for the rest of the process. The end results of all this labor are numerous products. Shea oil, which is used for cooking, and the production of many other things, including scented soap and laundry detergent, and above all, shea butter, which is greatly valued in the international cosmetics market. This project provides women and their communities with revenue, products that are locally used, and valuable export commodities. Since 1959, Rwanda and its southern neighbor Burundi, which has a similar ethnic makeup, have experienced decades of instability, dictatorships, and brutal conflicts. All of this has cost over 2 million lives between the two countries, particularly focused on the period in 1994 when, within 100 days, Rwanda experienced a terrible genocide. Impressive developments were fueled by self-help projects. One of my favorites is captured in the movie Sweet Dreams, in which a women's drumming troupe finances itself by producing Rwanda's first ice cream. Unfortunately, Burundi has not seen the same good fortune. Here's an example of a self-help project which has benefited a particularly marginalized group. The original people of Rwanda were the Twa, a pygmy group which now makes up less than 1% of the nation's population. Since the 1994 genocide, they have seen some remarkable developments. Traditionally, they had the low-status occupation of being potters. Clay is first shaped by their feet.
And the clay can fill in the hole.
That's right, there you go.
Then sculpted into shapes. And fired in a kiln. Their pots have become very popular, which led them to branch out in other directions, including charcoal hibachis and bricks. Their work is even featured at the National Genocide Memorial in Gizozi. More recently, they branched out into other ventures, including a dance troupe and the production of potted plants. Decimated by genocide, their resilience has proven inspiring. Rwanda also exemplifies self-help projects on a national level, which have many local ramifications. On the last Saturday of every month, all activity and traffic in Rwanda stops for Umuganda, the National Day of Community Service. On Saturday, July 26, 2008, Penn State interns volunteered to widen a path to provide a road to connect a village with its nearby school. Looking at the big picture, self-help projects generate local income and employment. They often produce goods and services for local needs and export, as we saw with the women of Kajukeji and the Twa. They help disadvantaged members of the community. They often repair trauma-induced physical damage and improve infrastructures, as we saw in Rwanda's Umuganda. However, above all, they build self-esteem and community spirit, which are often destroyed in traumatized societies. Contact me for a list of reliable charities which really make a difference.